Yes, now bless. Now don't forget to rest. Now good morning is the title of this. Let me get my bits and bobs off. Might have a fresh, clean shave today, alright, people. Don't get emotional. Don't get emotional. I seen that a grasshopper, if it goes evil, becomes a locust. Isn't that mad? And then someone said, yeah, just like a pig, when allowed to be free and wild, becomes a boar. What? Is this true? Could somebody confirm these details to me? What the hell? 100 Stories is track number 3 of 12 on Good Morning by Alkaline Trio. Not to be confused with Acidic Trio. Alright. Get your pH levels right, yeah? This entire listen through goes out to my good friend Marcus. One love to Marcus. Always puts me on to some good music. This is track 3. Let's go. I seen a video of Good Charlotte performing as of recent, and Good Charlotte has got 2 twins in the band, and you could never tell they were twins back in the day, but now you can. It's clear as day. They look identical. It's insane. My whole life's been a lie.
You're in the next room sleeping and I'm shouting out a song for you. I shouldn't wake you over the furnace, but I should swear to someone you'd have loved every low. So dream a good one tonight. I listen to the bad ones when they come. Get up in my ear till I hear every word, every turn, every tongue. I will tighten my grip.
In Canada, an identified 44-year-old resident of Lindsay, Ontario, confronted an intruder that broke into his house, an armed burglar, and he's facing assault charges for attacking the armed burglar. Can you believe it? And the excuse is when seconds matter, police are only minutes away. What? I mean, with all due respect, if you had kids, people to look after, let alone yourself, and someone broke into your house, if you don't commit an act that might be deemed irresponsible in the eyes of society, I don't think you've done a good enough job, to be honest with you. Do you know what? Is this an album? Is this a band that's punk rock enough for us to talk about punk rock? Because you know what? One of my biggest qualms with punk rock, right, or punk rock community, is that none of them actually stand for anything, basically. None of the community. Like, it's very rare that anybody actually stands up. If anything, punk rock is allowed and manufactured because it supports the progressive politic and identity that the government want you to sort of enforce anyway, you know, while as you think you're against authority, you're not really against it because you're just promoting the same things that you're supposed to, right? Like good little sheepages. Not that I'm any different. I'm not. I just want to live a simple life. I'm not against anything. So, what was I going to say? I was going to say over here, it's like we had the Online Safety Act, which is obviously a ploy for ushering in it's a Trojan horse, right? To usher in dystopian prison planet principles, right? But they usher it in to say, oh, it's for the good of the children. It's to protect children. It's to look after children. It's always to look after children. And like situations like that, it's just like, no, you don't have to do it because that's the police's job, and the police are only a minute away. And it's like, they're not. They're only a minute away when it comes to, you know, shit that really funds them. Which is you, the taxpayer, but, you know, the people with the money, basically. Why can I not take a little bit of strain off of the system, let them breathe a bit, and look after myself? Why can't I, if not we, look after and care for our own children? And I can go into that in a moment. That's a matter of applying for a birth certificate and giving the rights of that child and giving the rights of that identity and that corporation that's been formulated upon the birth of the child to the government. But that's another story. That's just a conspiracy. That's called a straw man conspiracy, right? I wouldn't recommend looking up that because you'll have Wikipedia articles popping up to just sort of correct you there when you look up that sort of stuff. But why do we have to... Bruh, I came from fuck all! And I've learnt to look after myself. At no point in my life on planet Earth have I had to ask for assistance, right? And I'm not saying that's not the case for everyone, but it is possible. And if I want to opt out of being nannied as a grown man by that which I don't want in my life, why can't I just say no? That's my rant over and done with. I just seen that someone getting charged for attacking a home intruder. The fuck?
And no one could tell even if I fell 100 stories straight down, down, down.
The only thing you're gonna have to do, I'm not even gonna talk about it.
No one could tell
I support the law.
even if I fell
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
100 stories down. I was getting
And nothing I say should be taken as fact. It's nonsense. Let's talk about punk rock though whilst we're here. So, it's a younger man's game. Let's be fair. If you go to a punk rock event, what generation are you going to see? You're going to see the younger generation, or at least with the up-and-coming circuits and whatnot. It's across the board, musically speaking, that's the way it is anyway. Any degree of creativity is linked to youthfulness. And I say that to say, if you still have a youthful spark, if you still have a creative spark, if you've not let that die, because they don't want you having that, they just want you to be a drone, right? So if you're not a drone and you are actively creative and expansive and I like water, my friend, then you are still in touch with that inner child that was expressive, expansive, and, you know, all of the good stuff that allows you to learn with an open mind, right? Before it gets closed off and you have to believe left or right wing or Democrat or Republican. Which side of my hemisphere, which hemisphere of my cerebrum do I choose? Which hemisphere of my neocortex do I choose in order to be a participant of this system, right? Prior to all of that, you learn via experience, and it was a borderline necessity that you learned via experience, and then you learnt the baseline of everything you needed to, and you just became boring, right? So, as far as like punk rock is concerned, it's counterculture, yeah, but it's as counterculture as the natural direction of a teenager upon finding their own identity in their youth. You know, all teenagers come to a non-conscious awareness of their independent identity when that formulates within them during those teenage years or pre-teenage years. And they start to rebel, don't they? They start to go against their parents. They start to do everything their parents tell them not to, purely down to the fact that I'm my own person now. You can't tell me what to do. I've found independence in oneself. So that naturally applies to punk rock and why punk rock sells to the younger generation, the younger kids, because it's like, oh shit, this community, this music hyper accentuates the tag I'm wearing right now. The anti-authoritarian situation. Anti-authoritarian, essentially linking to the parents first and foremost prior to government. Fuck you, mum and dad. I ain't gonna listen to what you do. I'm gonna get in trouble and get drunk and smoke and stuff. Do you see where I'm coming from? So as far as punk rock being counterculture and so forth, I think it more or less just applies itself to the archetype of the young child that arguably 80%, if not more, of human beings go through during their own self-development. 80% is a random percentage, but, you know, I didn't want to say everybody. That was some food for thought. I'm speaking marketing today, people. I'm speaking business, I'm speaking sales. I'm speaking if you want to be a punk rock artist and sell the hell out, who you need to target, and that's the essence, that's the soul, that's the childlike naivety, expression and creativity and rebellious nature of that which exists within that market before you. Don't look at them as they are, as 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Look at them as what they come from. All right, that 14-year-old rebellious kid, that 15 one, tap into that energy, tap into that vibration. It still exists.
This bed is too big to sleep in, and I'm dying just to feel you breathe. You couldn't see across the ocean, but I was turning over to the vampire sea. So dream a good one tonight. I'll listen to the bad ones when they come. Get up in my ear till I hear every word, every turn of your tongue. I will tighten my grip. No one could tell even if I fell 100 stories straight down, down, down. No one could tell even if I fell 100 stories down. I was getting bored with hurting myself. If you fall down enough, well, soon enough you will find hell. It can't be as pretty as we hoped it would be. It's not even warm here, not even 10 degrees. Dream a good one tonight. 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 I was getting bored, so dream a good one to myself. I was getting bored, so dream a good one to myself. I was getting bored, so dream a good one to myself. I was getting bored with hurting myself.
That was 100 stories, but my question is 100 stories a telling of a story? Or stories in an apartment block? We got Continental coming up next. This big one at 409,000 views.